All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Sound Is Not Life. My name is Adewale Agboke Jr. Please review us, rate us, give us a 5-star. Don't be a hater. Today, I'm going to talk about art and construction. I'm going to use the Construction Assassin universe as an example and different things I've done: art, posters, footwear, apparel. As you can see, I got on right here. But I just want to talk about the construction of what it takes to be an artist and be an art and creating the art and then constructing it, what it takes to do it. So before we get going though, let's thank our sponsors because we got to pay these bills. This podcast is brought to you by A4 Capital Consulting. Growing good business everywhere and anywhere. Let A4 Capital Consulting take your business to the next level. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com, y'all, for details. Go to A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. This podcast is also brought to you by Anadel Foot and Ankle. Don't live with foot pain. Let Anadel Foot and Ankle make your feet happy again. That's AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. That's AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. So, y'all, let's get this show going. So, art and construction, right? So, there's things I want to talk about. The ideas, execution, creation, tools. You know, ideas, cardiac for assassins, right? You know what I'm saying? Execution is how do I do it? Am I using pencil? Unlike most artists, I'm a dual artist, which means I can do analog, which is like pencil, sculpture, anything not to do with digital. And then I'm also great at digital too. So I always felt it was necessary to be able to do both. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, creations, apparel, beanies, the Escalade t-shirt, the cardiac for assassins hoodie, bomber jackets, you name it. Some will zip it up. Not that y'all have seen it, you know. As you can see, the hoodie, as you can see, it's a limited edition hoodie here. You can see it's slim fit design, you know what I'm saying? And then of course the tools you need to do it. Are you using the heat press? Is it digital machines to create the apparel? Is it done by hand? So it's different stuff, y'all. So let's get going with ideas. But before I get going, let's get this holes in my system, man. You know what I'm saying? It's chilly, man. This winter's not playing games, y'all. So look, Cardiac for Assassins. The idea of Cardiac for Assassins. This was the first bio book, and I preface this because the idea itself, like when I first started, I wasn't sure what exactly I should be doing, right? So I said, okay, well, I've got these characters, but what should I do? So I decided, you know, let me just at least just start off with a drawing. So always has a concept of Kaizen. I worked on that I've had that in my head for a while. And then the first person, as I've said it before back in previous podcasts, I drew Sincere, Dream Girl. What would I want my dream lady to look like? Okay, that's what she's going to look like. Then I was like, okay, I need more characters. Okay, who are the most important people around me? My two brothers, my sister, my best friend, one of my big brothers. And I just started creating characters. So y'all, what happened to me next was like, okay, let's see if we can't create some characters. So I just took a chance. And I guess one of the things that was important to me was I going to do what everybody else has already done, which is basically to take the, as I like call it, the punk way out. I felt there was a hole. And when I say a hole, I mean a giant hole where there was no African sentient representation. And being that I'm American, but I'm of Nigerian descent, I felt the importance to create characters that look like me. So I gave birth to the Cardiac Assassin universe. You got the heroes, now I need the villains. Of course, the villains are on this side. So this is version 1. So I go from this version, right, to like, okay, version 2 and 3. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, you can start to see the changes there. And of course, this is version 5 of the characters right here. So in a span of maybe 7 years to 8 years, I changed the characters completely from here to here. And this ain't even the last version. Now we got version 6 coming. Of course, as I stated before, y'all, the big book is coming. The first official Cardiac for Assassins comic book. It's a game changer, y'all. It's going to be big time. I'm very proud of what I've done so far. I can't wait to finish it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you have to do all that copyright paperwork and all that kind of detail before you can release it. So, but it's going to be one heck of a book, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So now, we've talked about the ideas, okay? So now, let's talk about the execution of doing the idea. Okay, so you have to come up with a plan for these characters, right? If you're going to draw them. How long is it going to take you? What programs are you going to use? Are you going to do it by hand? And my favorite thing to do is to do anything, to start any idea, is always to still pencil to paper. I mean, one thing I love about the digital age now is though that you can cut your work in half. But you still got to be creative, right? Because part of execution is creation, which is going to be the next thing we're going to talk about. You have to like sort of decide, okay, what do I want them to look like? Height, weight, bio, origin, occupation, functionality. I mean, there's so many little things that people don't think about when they create characters. But these, and in the history of watching characters, whether it's X-Men, Turtles, as you're gonna see my back here, Mega Man, Captain America, Wonder Woman, Batman, Black Panther. What is the purpose of this character, right? Because in execution, you have to find, that's where the purpose is going to be built right there. What is this guy's origin story or this woman's origin story? What do they function on? What are they going to change in the world that they didn't like? That's always I feel like is the central figure of what each character is based on, you know what I'm saying? And what universe they fighting, you know what I mean? So execution, right? So you have to execute a great plan. Like, for example, execution is beanies, right? So I decided how am I going to make these? What kind of beanies do I want to make? Execution is hoodies. What kind of hoodies do I want to make? I don't want what's already out. I want something that's signature. I want designer brand, which is what I am. I show Batas our designer brand. You know, take the footwear, for example. This is our new Batas 2, right? I mean, there's nothing like this out there. This is just a signature shoe designed by me, you know what I'm saying? And it's taking me 10 years to come up with this idea because I started off with just posters. So you can see this is the Batas 2. You got the Cardiac Assassin version 1 on this side. Then you got Cardiac Assassin version 5 on this side. You know what I mean? So execution is important. Even the posters, right? Look, even the posters. So you have to execute. It's all about execution. Because you can't execute if you don't have an idea. Or what do you want to do? And you start to grow. You know what I'm saying? So execution is important, y'all. You know, I can't stress that enough. You know what I mean? So as you can see, the Cardiac Assassin units, right? So even looking at these different posters here too. You got Ryu Ken. And if you're wondering, this was signed for me by the guy who created SWAT Cats. I met him at WonderCon, I believe. It was pretty awesome, man. Ryu versus Ken, you know, Blade, Wolverine, you know, it's just Black Panther, Batman, you know, Iron Man, Green Lantern. You know what I'm saying? Iron Man, Green Lantern. So this is what I mean by execution, y'all. It's really hard to encompass what it takes to do it because a lot of people don't want to take the time, the patience. Part of execution is patience, man. This kind of stuff takes time. All these people look for this instant gratification, this instant wealth. I'm gonna be rich in 2 seconds. That ain't gonna happen. Real wealth is built over time. You know, I always say there's a difference between rich people and wealthy people. Wealthy people cut checks to rich people. You know what I'm saying? Not the other way around. You know, wealthy people are the ones with their name on the left corner of the check. Rich people are the ones with their name in the center of the check. You know what I'm saying? So my goal is to be on the left corner of the check. I ain't interested in being the center of the check anymore. You know what I mean? Execution is so vital. And part of execution is just belief. Believing that you can do it, right? Because the idea comes from manifesting in your mind, right? Now you have to manifest it into reality. You have to, sometimes you do it on your own. Part of my execution was, I just couldn't be bothered to work with other people that were going to slow me down. They were too slow, no ambition, no drive. I remember in school, when I was in school, because I went to community college, I tried to form a team and I just realized as soon as I started thinking, I was like, these people are lazy as hell. They don't have the drive that I have. I'm not wasting my time with these people. So what did I do? I learned how to create websites. I learned how to draw. I learned how to animate. I learned how to do everything I needed to do so that what I wanted to do could not be stopped. That's why I've come so far. That's why I went from version 1, Cardiac Assassins, that's version 5, version 3, 4, and then 5. You see what I'm saying? That's how I can come this far. Because I'm not letting people slow me down. I'm choosing to acquire knowledge so I can execute my ideas. And that's so vital, y'all, execution. It's just so hard to execute. A lot of people don't execute. And then by not executing, guess what you're not doing? You're not manifesting your dreams. And the whole point of everything you do should be to manifest your dreams. So that's what's important about execution, y'all. Now on to the next part, creation. Okay, so when you create the ideas, right, what do you want to do? The whole creation process itself is like, for me, I remember creating these characters. It took me, it must have taken me at least 4 years, maybe 5 to create these characters, to create the version 1. Like, I was spending 5, 6, 7 months drawing each character. I drew Cajun last, I think I remember that. He took forever. I messed it up so many times, man. I was so dissatisfied with it. Escalate was hard, even though that may look simple, but it wasn't simple. There was nothing simple about that drawing. She's always been a challenge because, she's based on my sister, but also, too, she's the leader of the team. And I just felt like a leader should look a certain way. She should encompass leadership in just even looking at the drawing. Most people that see this whole thing, as soon as they see this, they're like, she must be the leader. Of course she's the leader. You know what I'm saying? And to keep in mind that these characters are based on people that are close to me. My two brothers, my sister, my best friend, my big brother, and of course my dream girl. This woman, what would she look like? How strong is she? Intelligence, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it took time. Even the villains, man. And funny thing is, when I drew all the villains, I realized how cool the villains were. So I had to come back to the heroes. So the heroes didn't look like this as far as version 1. They looked nothing like this. And I was like, oh, the heroes suck. So then I had to go back to the heroes again and redraw them again. At least, maybe not totally redraw, but I had to make corrections. Because I was like, there's no way the heroes can match up to the villains. No way. And this was version 1, y'all. So imagine getting to version 2, 3, and 4. You know what I'm saying? So, and this logo begins to change, right? It goes from, as you can see, there's change. It starts from this. Then it goes to this. You know what I mean? You know, it's like I was going through changes a lot, and I was trying to figure out what color should be what color. Now this Assassin's logo is no longer red. Now it's black. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna show you all that. You know what I'm saying? So that's execution right there. You know, that's creation. The idea of the creation, it takes time. You can't just think that you're gonna put it down one time on a piece of paper or computer, whatever programs you might be using, whether it's Photoshop, Illustrator, Corel Draw, whatever it is that you might decide you want to use to create what you're creating. But you have your way, you have your niche. You know, that's what's most important. Understanding your creation zone and using it to the best of your abilities to create what you want to create. I knew for me, I was not going to allow anybody to slow me down. So it was a good thing that I went to school. As I stated, I went to community college, Long Beach City College for drawing skills, and then Orange Coast College for animation skills. Let me tell y'all, those two schools are incredible. I mean, they're worth every penny that I paid. I didn't have any school loans. I worked full time. You know what I'm saying? I went to school full time. I took classes. I paid everything out of pocket. I mean, I was exhausted, but I was driven too. And I always felt like I was tired, but I wasn't tired because I was so driven by what I wanted to go learn. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, look, this is, excuse me, y'all. This is right here, version 5, right? And by the time I got to this, version 5 was around 20, let me see, 2015, maybe 2016. But WonderCon 2015 is when it exploded. No, excuse me. No, this must have been 2017 I created these. WonderCon 2015, part of creation is allowing your whatever you created, your product to grow. Because when I first started, I was not selling t-shirts that look like this. Oh my God. I used to sell these old school t-shirts that look like, they look like transfer, they had like, I'm not explaining to y'all. It's like they had transfer paper on them. You know what, y'all? Give me a second. I'm going to go get this bad boy for y'all so y'all can see it. And I am back. Check this out, y'all. Look, this is what I used to do. Let's use a hoodie, for example. As you can see, you see this hoodie right here? You can see. This is how I started the company, man. The idea and creation, right? Flip it on the back. Check that out, y'all. See, that's how I used to make them compared to what I have now, right? You see the difference? That's creation. That took time to get here. I mean, let's use a t-shirt. For example, this Dragon Goku versus Vegeta t-shirt. I mean, this is how I used to do things, man. I had to do what I had to do to get here. As you can see, you see what I'm saying? You see this t-shirt, you know? I mean, I don't make these anymore. And then I used to have to create, you know, it was just magical, man, dude. I look back at these days with fondness, like, wow, look how far I've come. But that's what it takes to create, man. That's the part of creation right there. You know what I mean? So that's what it took. That's the creation zone right there. Now, and when you say creation, even the shoes, right? Check this out. The shoes is a creation. This is the last pair of things that I've created recently, the Batas 2. And the thing about the Batas 2 is it comes in high tops too. So look for the high top in our future podcasts. But it's got low tops right here. This is a platinum edition. Comes in black trim. Black trim would be here, and white trim. We got art all over the place, y'all. It's pretty sick, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is the bata suit. This is another creation. This is the last thing I created. It's constant creation. We're even doing phone cases. We're doing wallets. Look at this, glasses cases, right? Check that out, y'all. This is creation right here. I used to not have any of this. So my glasses is in there, as y'all can see, And then the cool thing about our things is that it's got its own cleaning cloth. Look at that. Carjack for Assassins. This is what I mean by creation. You know what I'm saying? So creating different ideas, different concepts, it's just insane. Even I'm gonna get y'all, check this out. Y'all about to trip out about this. I'm even gonna show y'all a laptop case right here. Hold on, y'all. Look, laptop case, double-sided, waterproof laptop case. You can see it's got art on both sides, right? So, most of these come with all the drawings I've done on our website. You can check it out at soundvision.com or soundvisionshop.com. I mean, this is what I mean by creation right here. It's just constantly evolving. You have to constantly evolve what you're doing. So that's where I'm so proud of how far I've come. Now, let's talk about the tools, right? What does it take to execute this thing, the last part of this deal? Tools. Actually, the biggest tool is just believing in yourself. That's the first thing. Believing in your idea. Before you can even decide how you want to create them, whether it's pencil, digital, whatever you decide to do. But the biggest tool of all is believe in yourself. Because if you don't, you're not getting anywhere. And I can promise you this much: ain't nobody else gonna be believing in you, except for that little small corner of people you got. I'm lucky. I have my two brothers, my sister, of course, my mom and my father, my mom and my dad, my best friend, my big brother. But I don't really, my circle is not that big. You know what I'm saying? And those people that I go to and say, okay, I don't necessarily ask them if they like the drawing I did. It's just, they might see themselves like, oh, that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for a bunch of yes answers from them. It's just more constructive ideas. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I created the characters, one of the things they liked about them was that each character I created the characters I created based on them, the Construction Assassin universe, fit them to the T. So, that tool right there. And then once you get that belief tool in you, now you can go execute. You know what I'm saying? I always say success is no accident. It requires a plan of action and motivation to succeed. I'm going to say it again. Success is no accident. It requires a plan of action and motivation to succeed. From this version to this version, excuse me, y'all, to this version, to a glasses case, you know what I'm saying? To a beanie, to a laptop case. That's taking tools. That's tools understanding what I can do. And then I started saying, okay, you got digital tools out there. Everybody's different. You got Illustrator, you got Photoshop, you got different ways of creating what you want to create. You got to figure out how you want to do what you need to do. Tools are materials that I use to create my hoodies, my new line now. So, of course, this is a Carjack Assassins limited edition hoodie. Asher is my brand. You know what I'm saying? You've got the Bata's foot line, as you can see, the Bata's foot line right there. You know what I'm saying? So, it's not like I don't have the tools. You have the tools. You have to figure out what you need for what you want to do. That's really the tools that matters the most. What is it that you want to do so that you can do it, right? Because if you don't figure that part out, everything else is going to be rough, y'all. So, the biggest thing, as I said before, the biggest tool of all, anything you're going to take, not the computer, not the pencil you're going to use, but the belief in yourself that you can execute. Because to me, confidence comes from belief, not the other way around. A lot of people are like, well, that guy's confident. Of course you're confident. When you've built something, when you see yourself succeed, no matter how tough things are, you pull yourself through. That's the biggest tool as an artist. A lot of artists don't have no hustle them. They're just lazy, whining crybabies. Think somebody owes them something. Nobody owes you anything. You either go get it or you ain't gonna have it. That's it. You earn your keep. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that I think are important. Art and construction. In art and construction, ideas, execution, creation, and then the tools you're going to use. And the biggest tool, as I stated before, is you. You are the biggest tool because you are the creator. You're the tool that's going to direct things. You're going to decide how things are going to be made. So for me, I've come so far. I mean, I can't believe I'm holding my own pen. I mean, I can believe it. Let me rephrase that because I want to put that in the universe, accept this in a way that I've done it. I created this because I thought of the idea. It took months and months of construction to come up with this shoe, you know, and I think it got easier because I already created everything else from glasses cases to the bio books, you know what I'm saying, to laptop cases, to posters, you know what I mean? So it's constant, man. It's tools. Figure out what you need and use that to get where you want. You're not going to need every tool in the shed, man, but get the tools that you need. You know, I'm an animator. I'm a character designer. I'm an apparel designer. I'm a footwear designer. You know what I'm saying? And these are all, when I started, all I had was posters. I wasn't really thinking about like, oh, footwear and beanies and hoodies and sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? I was just thinking like, I just want to maybe sell enough posters. But then the wave of creation just kept on opening up more ideas, which meant I needed more tools. You know what I'm saying? The more ideas you get, the more tools you're going to need. It's just how it goes. So, you know, it's been an awesome episode, y'all. So that's what concludes our episode today of what I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Art and construction. So this is what I'm talking about. And also, too, just to show y'all what I meant by the logo, you know, as you can see, the new Carjacks logo, right? Compared to when I first started, right? And then the new Assassins logo compared to where I first started, even compared to right here, right? And then compared to even right here. You know what I'm saying? You see how the logo transitions went from bottom back to the top again. You know what I'm saying? And now it's got no box. So, you know, it's all about ideas, man. So, y'all, I want to thank y'all for listening. But before we get out of here, we're going to thank our sponsors. We got to pay these bills. So this podcast is brought to you by Annadale. For the night, it's brought to you by A4 Capital Consulting. Growing good business anywhere and everywhere. Let A4 Capital Consulting take your business to the next level, y'all. That's A4capitalconsulting.com for details, y'all. That's A4capitalconsulting.com for details, y'all. This podcast is also brought to you by Annadale Foot and Ankle. Don't live with foot pain. Let Annadale Foot and Ankle make your feet happy again. Our sponsors have, and that's AnnadaleCenter.com for details, y'all. That's AnnadaleCenter.com for details. Before I forget, our sponsors, A4 Capital Consulting and Annadale for the Knuckle, their websites are looking awesome. Everything's been upgraded. Follow them on various platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. They've got a lot of things popping off over there. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't be my sponsors. They weren't doing amazing things. A4 Capital Consulting is taking different business to different levels. Sinus Vision is an example of that. Annadale Foot and Ankles out there making people's feet real happy. Nobody's walking around with foot pain. So check them out on YouTube. Check them out on Twitter. Check them out on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's at. Instagram. They're all over the place. So thank y'all for listening. So thank y'all for listening today. This podcast is produced, written, and directed by yours truly, Adewale Agboke Jr. Please check out our website at sinusvisionshop.com or sinusvision.com. Please subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen to it. That's Amazon, Deezer, Spotify, Apple. And you can also listen to our podcast, latest episode, on sinusvision.com or sinusvisionshop.com. Please check out our social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all at sinusvision. And please don't forget to review us, rate us, give us a 5-star. Don't be a hater. And as always, y'all, continue to aspire and achieve. Have a great week. Stay safe. Peace.